You know, one thing that I've learned is that when you're dedicated to learning and evolving, maturing and growing, it's not going to be easy. And I don't think it was meant for us to be easy, because anything easy, I don't know what to add to that. Let me spit this gum out. But listen, anything worth having is not easy. Anything that you want to have, that you want to keep close, it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm telling you, you don't want the easy. Choose the hard. But what I want to come on here and say this morning is that I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care what Bill do. I don't care who like me, who don't like me. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm going to work out. You know why? Because I know, because I'm dedicated to learning, because I'm choosing to grow, I know it's not going to be easy, and I know that everything going to work out. So I just work out. Because what does it benefit us when life in us, we grieving, or we going through an emotional storm, we going through a breakup, financial storm, relational, job, whatever it is, whatever life is throwing at you, what does it benefit us for us to just sit and marinate in it? No, I go work out, because working out, it decreases the anxiety, it decreases the depression that I go through. And it's scientific fact that it does do that for everyone. It allows me to think clear. It gives you clarity. It don't cloud you. It's better than just sitting there drinking and smoking myself away. That increases depression. Overeating increases depression. Getting a hold to other substances, it increases depression. Over shopping, it increases depression and anxiety. Because you ain't managing your money. You can't manage yourself. So when you choose to start loving you, workout is going to become a lifestyle regardless of what you go through. If you done lost a loved one, you gonna want to process your emotions. But guess what? Working out, going on a nature walk, going outside, getting into nature is going to help you process those emotions. I've learned that, because one thing about me, when I was younger, and I truly believe that anything that you do in your 20s affects your 30s, anything you do in your 30s affects your 40s, it's just a rumble effect. In my 20s, I used to cope with what I seen everybody else cope with. That we think that it's just we doing it for fun, but we don't have the education behind it to know that we really doing it to suppress our thoughts, to cope with our trauma, our pain. Because we don't know how to communicate. I'm telling you something real now. All that vaping. I went in the store the other day. I seen $5 vapes. I said, oh my God. I know them things is death written all over them. It's all not good for you. You walk around here saying you love yourself, but you putting all these harmful substances in your body. In my 20s, I used to do that because I lacked education about self-love. We don't teach self-love. Nobody taught me how to love myself. Absolutely not. I had to grow up to learn that. I had to learn trial and error. So I'm saying all this to say that put fitness included into your routine. It's going to benefit you. And I'm telling you this because it has helped me tremendously, man. It has helped me tremendously. I don't care if one day I overeat. I'm still going to get up and go to the gym. I'm still going to work out because I know that it's all a process. Nothing's going to happen overnight. I have lost 75 pounds, gained 20, lost 20, gained 10. I'm a woman at the end of the day that has 2 kids. So I know my hormones, my body is going to go through what it's going to go through. But long as I switch up my routine, whatever it needs to be during that season, during that time of my life, but I keep on going. I do not stop because I know that in our culture, we either, and I believe in anybody's culture, but mostly in our culture, we eat soul food. What is the soul? The soul is considered the way you think, your emotional state of mind, and your will to choose. So we gonna always choose the food to comfort us when we do not process our emotions. So if I'm going through something, I'm gonna choose food because it comforts me. It comforts me. And that's what a lot of people, you either eat emotional eating because food comforts you. You either eat it because you're addicted to the food. You eat it because you have cravings. Or you eat it because you're bored. That's why it's good to connect with God and know your purpose. Because when you in your purpose, sometimes you be so busy you forget to eat. Shoot. And when you know your purpose, you gonna eat the types of food that's gonna align you to your purpose. That's going to align you with your purpose. Because you know you're going somewhere. You know you can't go nowhere eating smothered pork chops and turkey wings and collard greens and macaroni and cheese and sodas, Coca-Cola. You ain't going too far. You ain't gonna make it too far on that food. Because we become what we consume consumes us. So if you consuming that food, what happens when you consume that food? It consumes you. Obesity, high blood pressure, sugar, all kind of diabetes, all kind of stuff, autoimmune disease. You ain't sleeping right when you eating those foods. Absolutely not. You ain't sleeping right when you consuming too much alcohol. You ain't sleeping right when you getting high every day. You not. You just not. You not gonna sit there and tell that lie to yourself. You adding on to the depression. You increasing your depression, your anxiety. And then you have insomnia. And then this what creates all these autoimmune diseases. Man, I done researched all this stuff. I done looked this stuff. I done learned. Self-education is the best. When you know you want more out of life, you really have to choose. Because everybody has free will. That's why they say the broke will always be among us. Because people have free will to choose what they want to do after they live 40 hours a week after work. You either could choose to create something outside of that that's for you that nobody can fire you from, or you gonna choose to drink, shop, sit out on the couch and watch Netflix or whatever other TV shows you watch, subscriptions you pay for. You gonna use your time doing that because you done let your job work you and overwork you. That you're so tired you ain't got no energy because you eating food. You ain't eating the food to give you energy. You eating that soul food, or you eating the food that too much sugar, candy, too much anything. So you too tired to choose to start working on something that you can't get fired from. on building generational wealth. We be too tired. I know, because I used to do this. I'm like, dang, all this time has passed, and I could have been doing so much more with my life, but you don't know what you don't know until you know it. You got to make a conscious choice to mature. And it's not easy. Then you got to heal on top of that. You got to heal immature. Oh, my God. Ooh, you think life hard. Nah. But listen, I'd rather choose that hard than choose the hard and marinate in my problems and not solving them. Choosing to not solve them. Especially when you got kids watching you. You can't be blaming your health, because what led you up to that point of your health deteriorating, of you having a health issue, it had to be what you was doing. What were you doing with your time? What were the foods you was choosing, the conversations you engaging in, the environments you going in, the way that you think? All that, you got to put that work in. You got to choose to self-educate. You got to choose to eat the right foods. You got to choose to work out. You got to choose to read. You got to choose to open your Bible and connect to God. You got to choose these things. They just not going to fall out the sky and say, here you go. That's why they say the rich and wealthy is two different things. When people win the lottery, you get rich. Anybody get rich. And then what? 3 to 5 years, this statistics now, 3 to 5 years, you're broke. Because the person that chooses to become wealthy know that it is a process, and the person they become during that process is the person that's able to sustain and create the generational wealth. It is the person that you become along the journey. That's why you got to be so in tune with you. That's why you have to not care what other people think. You got to cut some people off, the toxic people. And you can't care what they think about what you're doing with your time. And you're going to have to be able to say no. No, I can't go with you to the club. No, I don't want to pop no Bibles. I do want to pop some Bibles now. Bibles. But not no bottles. No, I don't want to go with you to the cookout. No, I don't want to go to nothing that's not going to evolve me and move the needle forward in the direction that I am choosing to go in. This is when you take your power back and become self-aware. Your anxiety is going to decrease. Your depression is going to decrease. Your not giving is going to decrease. And it's going to allow you to be more focused on the things that you thought you could never accomplish. It'll start becoming easier. Your heart will start becoming easier, but it's levels to this now. It's not going to happen overnight, because you want to be able to become the person that's going to sustain the generational wealth, to be able to pass it down to the next generation. I'm trying to tell you something good now. I'm learning this. Each one teach one. Listen, it's all a choice. It's all a choice. And you got the power to make that choice every day you wake up in the morning. To become more present and choosing what you want to do with your time. Every day is a gift. Ain't that what they say? Every day is a gift. So if every day is a gift, open that present. And be more present. Write the things down that you want to get done. And tune the people out that's not cheering for you. That's not, what word am I looking for? That don't align with where you going. Some of them, you ain't got to cut them all off. Just limit your conversation and limit the time. And don't be telling them what you're going to do if they don't agree with what you're doing. Because they're going to slow you down. And then you got to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you've done in the past. And the more mistakes that you might make. Because we human. We human. We going to make them. And we going to learn. And we going to grow. And we going to push forward. Hello. Anybody over there on the other end? Because we trying to win over here. If you listening to me, we trying to win over here. If you only got one life to live, stop thinking that you can't do the things that you want to do to grow, evolve, become more healthier, financially stable, build healthier relationships, put yourself in healthier environments, engage in conversations that is not toxic. You don't want to know nothing about nobody else's business, because why? You don't care. I don't care no more. It's tunnel vision. I don't want to go to the concert. It's tunnel vision. God say, what the scripture say? Write the vision and make it plain. You don't know how much power you have until you cut that noise off. I'm telling you now, and put yourself in better environments. That's all I got for y'all this morning. Listen, that's what was on my mind. We're trying to do better. And they say if you knew better, you'll do better. But that ain't so true, because people know better and still choose not to do better. But I don't want that for you. I want that you know better, so you're going to choose to do better every day. And we not living in our mistakes. We learning from them. We growing from them. And we creating the life that we want to live. Not a life that we have to recover from. A life, a quality life that we gonna wanna grow old. So, y'all have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Choose you, choose life. Jesus came that you may have life, that we may have life and have it more abundantly. And he was trying to change the people's way of thinking. So just change the way of thinking. Change the way you think. Choose. Choose you. Look at all these bees coming around my car. Y'all have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day.